Determining the equation of a line. The equation of any straight line can be written in the form y is equal to mx plus b, where m, like we learned on the previous page, is the slope of the line. B is the y-intercept, but you'll learn more about the y-intercept later. The important thing to know is just that m and b are representing numbers, with m representing the slope. To find the equation of a line, you have to have two things minimally. You have to have the slope of the line, and you need to have 1 point on the line. If you have more than 1 point, great, but minimally you have to have 1 point on the line. You can find the equation of a line by using the slope-intercept form, or you can use the point-slope formula. The point-slope formula says that if a line has a slope of m and passes through the points, or actually it should be point x1 comma y1, then the equation of the line can be found as follows. We're going to have our variable y minus whatever y sub 1 is, and remember y sub 1 is just a number, since that's going to be a point on the line. That will equal to our slope, m, times, in parentheses, the variable x, minus whatever the number x sub 1 is. So we'll go through an example finding the equation of a line using both formulas, and then you can just stick with the one that's easiest for you. So in the first example, find the equation of the line that passes through the point -3, -2 with a slope of 7. Write your answer in slope-intercept form. Okay, so if I want to do this using the slope-intercept form of a line, I know that the format will be y is equal to my slope, 7, times x, plus some number b. Well, to figure out what b is equal to, we need to use a point that we have on our line. And we're going to let the x-coordinate, -3, we're going to plug that in for the x, and we're going to plug the -2 in for y. And that's going to enable us to figure out what b is equal to. So we end up with, we're plugging -2 in for y, is equal to, we have our slope of 7 times, well, the x value is -3. We don't know what b is, so we keep the plus b. So -2 is equal to -21 plus b. So we end up with b is equal to 19 after we add 21 to both sides. Okay, so don't stop there. b equals 19 is not an equation of a line in slope-intercept form. We know it needs to look like y equals our slope times x plus some number. So go ahead and plug your value of b in. So y is equal to 7 times x plus 19. And that's the equation of our line. Now, let me show you how you can do this using the point-slope formula. Okay, so this is just another way of solving the same problem. So the point-slope formula says we start with y minus our y value, which we have as -2, is equal to our slope, which is 7, times x minus our x value, which is -3. And since we're told to put our answer in slope-intercept form, that means we want y by itself on one side of the equation. We need to simplify our equation. So when you subtract a negative, that's the same as adding. So y plus 2 is equal to 7 times x plus 3. Next, we need to distribute that 7. So we have y plus 2 is equal to 7x plus 21. And now when we subtract 2 from both sides, we get y is equal to 7x plus 19. So notice that we come up with the same result. So whichever method seems easiest for you, work with that method. You don't have to do both. In the next example, we want to find the equation of the line shown below. Write your answer in slope-intercept form. Okay, so notice we're not given the slope, we just have 2 points on the line. So if you go back to the reminder at the top, to find the equation of a line, you have to have the slope and you have to have 1 point on the line. So first thing I need to do here is figure out what is the slope of this line. So first let's figure out what the coordinates are. So it looks like we have an x-coordinate of 2 and a y-coordinate of 1. And then in the second quadrant, we have an x-coordinate of -4 and a y-coordinate of 3. So to get our slope, this is when we use that formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'll let my first point to the left be x1, y1, and then we'll let this be x2, y2. So my slope will equal 1 minus 3 divided by 2 minus a -4. Okay, so simplifying, we get a -2 in the numerator. 2 minus a -4 is the same as 2 plus 4, which is 6. So -2 over 6 will simplify to -1 over 3. Okay, so now that we have our slope, we're ready to get the equation of our line. So we only need to use one of our points to get our equation. I'm going to use this point over here to the right, and the reason why I'm choosing it is because both of the values are positive, so there's going to be less of a chance that I make an arithmetic error. But again, you can pick either of the 2 points. Okay, so let me just make a note that I'm going to use this point. So I'm choosing it randomly. So I'm choosing to use to get my equation. And that was a random choice because I could have used any point on the line. Okay, well, I prefer to use the slope-intercept form of a line. So let me just write that for reference. So our y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to, m is our slope, so we have -1/3 times x. We do not know what b is, so we keep that plus b. So in order to figure out b, I need to plug in these values for x and y. So my y value that I'm plugging in is 1 is equal to -1/3 times the corresponding x value is 2, and then we have plus b. Okay, so we have 1 is equal to, 2 is the same as 2 over 1. So with fractions you multiply straight across, so we have a -2/3 plus b. So my last step to get b by itself is to add 2/3 to both sides. So b is going to equal 1 plus 2/3. 1 is the same as 3 over 3. So that gives us 5/3. All right, so remember that's not your final answer. We're looking for an equation of a line. So our equation is y is equal to -1/3 times x plus our b value of 5/3.